Welcome back to another F4 lap guide. This week we're at Okayama, which is a really challenging track because in the first part of the lap, you have a lot of high-speed corners where it's really critical to get on the throttle early to get a great exit. But in the second part of the lap, there's a lot of low-speed corners, so you're really trying to carry as much speed into the apex as you can, but also trying to keep the car from spinning. So we're really focusing on using many different skills to be fast around here. But as we come across the line to start our fast lap, we are heading in to a really fast turn 1-2 sequence. Through the first right-hander, we're going to be focusing on braking slightly early so that we can get on the throttle early and get a great exit. We're going to be braking just at the start of these tire marks in front of us. It's a hard initial brake, and you can see I'm slightly turning the nose of my car in towards the apex as I brake. We're at about 90% pressure, but as we come in towards the apex, I'm going to start peeling off the brake to help rotate the car. As you can see, slowly peeling off the brake, and then right about here, I'm focusing on getting back to throttle early so we can get a great exit. So we hit that apex curb, hard on the throttle, third gear, fourth gear, using all of the road on the exit, and then immediately turning back to the left-hand side to set up this fast left-hander. We're not going to be touching the brakes this corner, but we're going to be focusing on getting back to the throttle early so we can get a great launch onto the long straight. So after turn-in, I'm going to be slowly peeling off the throttle to help rotate the car. You can see this here, just slowly peeling off to about 30% to help bring the nose in towards the apex. But as we get to this apex, I'm going to peel off even more, only to about 5% throttle now. And that's going to cause the car to dramatically rotate right about here. If I do this for too long, the car will spin. But if we do it just quickly enough, the car will rotate and we're hard back on throttle and we get a great exit. Boom, back to throttle. We got that really good rotation at the apex, hard back on the throttle, getting a great exit, almost a purple first sector, and we're coming into another challenging fast corner. There's many different lines you can take through this right-hander, but I like to brake slightly early so we can get on the throttle very early and carry a ton of speed onto the long straight. We're gonna brake hard about 20 meters before the 50 board ahead of us. As you can see, we're almost at 100% pressure, but now I'm immediately peeling off the brake pedal, trying to rotate the car in towards the apex, and again, focusing on getting back to throttle well before the apex so we get a great exit onto the straight. So I'm slowly peeling off the brake, and then right about here, I'm already back on throttle, trying to make sure that we get a great exit onto the straight. I had to just hesitate slightly as the car was understeering in towards the apex, but now that we get to the apex, I'm hard back on the throttle, using all of the road on the exit. Again, this is where you can have multiple lines coming out of this corner. Some people keep it much tighter to the right-hand side. This will gain you a lot of time through the corner and on the exit, but you'll lose time all the way down the straight. But obviously, I prefer doing it my way better. But we are heading into a long-duration hairpin corner. It's really important that we focus on braking as late as possible and carrying as much speed through the apex as we can. We're going to be braking hard about 20 meters before this tower on the left-hand side. As you can see there, we're up to 100% brake pressure, but then immediately peeling off the brake as I start to nose my car in towards the apex. We carry just slightly too much speed into the apex. You can see I'm applying throttle to help balance the rear of the car. We just get a little bit of a slide through the apex. We understeer slightly wide, but I'm going to pick up the throttle hard through the exit, not going all the way to the left-hand side though, because we want to immediately hustle the car back to the right-hand side to set up two very challenging, very awkward left-hand corners. These corners are really challenging because we're just using the throttle to help rotate the car, but it's actually an awkward scenario where the more throttle we apply, the more balanced the car is. And the more we peel off the throttle and slower we go through the corner, the more the car wants to spin. So through this first left-hander, I'm just peeling off the throttle after a turn-in. You can see I peel off to about 30%, and this will help to rotate the car in towards the apex. And as we get closer to the apex, peel off just slightly more to give myself a bit more rotation. But when we hit this apex curbing, the car's going to immediately want to oversteer. So I have to apply a lot of throttle to balance the car on the edges of the corner. So we get through the apex and we're hard back to throttle to balance the car on the exit. immediately coming into the second left-hander of this sequence. We're just going to be peeling off the throttle before the start of the curbing in front of us. We peel off to about, again, 10 to 20% pressure and slowly start to feed throttle back in as we touch our left-hand tire on this apex curbing. We can't feed the throttle all the way back in though because the car always wants to oversteer on the exit. So we're only to about 90% throttle, but as we come out of this corner, we're back to 100% throttle as we get a little kick of oversteer on the exit, but not any time to think because we're immediately into a sequence of 2 challenging 180-degree hairpin corners. Through these corners, it's just really important that we focus on not overloading the front or the rear tires and just trying to carry as much speed to the apexes as we can. We're going to be braking just after the 50 board ahead of us. And as we brake, we're going to point towards the middle of the road, trying not to ask too much from the front or the rear tires as we're braking all the way into this apex. It's a long trail brake all the way to about here, but then I immediately start applying throttle to help balance the car and to keep it from oversteering as we come out of this corner. We're going to keep it tight to the left-hand side as we get back to 100% throttle. Immediately turning back to the right and then slowly peeling off the throttle after turn-in. Not peeling off too abruptly because this will cause the car to spin, but also not doing it too gently because this will cause the car to understeer. So just the Goldilocks right amount of peeling off the throttle. And then it's really awkward coming out of the exit corner because you actually get a little bit more grip. So you can see, I actually start to turn my hands a little bit more. I'll show you that again. So as we come in towards the apex, there's a certain amount of grip, and then right about here, you actually get a lot more grip. So you can just turn your hands almost 90 degrees to the right, getting more grip through the front tires, getting hard back to throttle, but slowly and smoothly back to throttle. Second gear, third gear, we're up through the sector as well, into fourth gear, an easy flat out right-hander coming into the final corner on the lap, just trying to carry as much speed through the apex as we can, but just like the first sequence of the lap, trying to get on the throttle as early as possible to get a great launch onto the long straight. It's a quick jab of the brakes just at the end of this green curbing on the left-hand side. Jab to about 30 or 40% pressure, and then immediately peel off just to get the car to rotate as we come in towards the apex. We're going to try to touch our right side tires on the apex curbing. We just miss it by about a couple feet, but we're immediately hard back on throttle. The car's going to understeer all the way out of this corner, touch our left side tires on that gravel. Fortunately, that's not a 1X there, and we're going to come across the line to set a 128.168. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of the support, and I hope you have a great week of racing. I'll see you guys next time.